Hello guys, today we are reviewing the DNM fork, but not the usual one that you already know, the DNM USD8 coil. This one is a DNM USD8AR, a modification which has 38mm stanchions. So previous version had 35mm stanchion. Now let's take a look at the difference between 38 and 35 version with the forks disassembled for a clear comparison. So first the stanchions. The previous version had 35mm stanchions, while the new has 38mm stanchion, which is the first noticeable difference. Then the second one is the springs. The springs in the 35 version are the thinner, whereas the 38mm version has a thicker spring. For instance, the diameter of the 38mm version is 32mm, while the 35mm version, the spring diameter is 28. So it's already 4mm spring difference. The damper are identical. So the only difference is that the 38mm version includes an adapter for the thinner damper used in the 35mm version. This means that the same damper can be used in either version without any issue. The damper design remains unchanged, with identical piston, seals and other components. You can see the comparison here between the 38 and 35 fork version. Let's talk about the adjustments. The adjustment knob look different visually, but essentially they are the same.
Как в 35-й. Ну, по факту они одинаковые. Но есть одно отличие.
But what is different in those forks? So let's talk about the spring pushers. There is a difference in the spring pushers between the 35 and the 38mm version. The 38mm version has a larger diameter pusher because the spring is stiffer. The shaft diameter in the 38mm version is 14mm, while the 35mm version it is 12mm. Additionally, the 38mm version uses a metallized bushing with a Teflon, whereas the 35mm version uses a regular polymer bushing, which often gets displaced. The metallized bushing in the 38mm version is press-fitted securely. The upper tube diameter is 42mm in the 35 version, and the 48mm in the 38 version, with 50mm on the lower crown. So it's a noticeable increase. And when viewed from the end, the cross-section difference is significant. It's 2.9mm in the 35mm version and 4.2 in the 38 version. So that's a huge difference. Let's talk about the oil seals. Finally, they added a retaining ring to the seal in the 38 version, allowing oil to be added without the seals being blown out, unlike the 35mm version, which has no such feature. Previously, we modified the 35mm version by adding a nut to secure the seal, but this is no longer necessary, since the 38mm version, as it comes pre-installed. Now let's talk about the crown comparison. The crown in the 38mm version is stronger, designed for heavier bikes.
Штуки одинаковые. Ровно разные.
You can see them here. And next, let's talk about the plastic comparison. The plastic in the 38mm version is sturdier,
Прям жесткий,
while it is softer on the 35mm version. There is difference at the dropouts. The 38mm version has a single robust disc brake mount, whereas the 35mm version has mounts on both sides, so you can install the double caliper brakes.
Здесь же в 38-й не предусмотрен второй тормоз.
Now let's talk about the common issue. Both versions have share a common problem. The piston rubs against the fork body, causing the damper to eventually airlock. This can be fixed by replacing the piston.
Тоже в целом лечится заменой поршня.
And in conclusion, the 38mm fork is significantly better than 35mm version. With minimal modification, it can run on oil. Simply disassemble it, clean it, and add oil without needing any extensive rework. And essentially, the 38mm fork is well suited for tuning. So we greatly recommend it for heavier e-bikes.